What would you do if your high school crush suddenly got possessed by Satan himself, like full-on demon mode? That's basically the plot of Jenifer's Body, and since this is the first video on the channel, subscribe right now so this doesn't become the last one too. So the movie starts with this girl locked up in what looks like a prison. She says she gets letters every single day, more letters than Santa Claus and Michael Jackson combined. People keep telling her to find Jesus and repent and all that. Then she starts showing us around the prison, but the second the guard questions her, she tells her to shut up and delivers a WWE level kick straight to the stomach. So yeah, solitary confinement immediately. That's when she starts explaining that she wasn't always like this. Everything changed after the incident. Apparently it all started in this tiny town called Devil's Cattle. And yes, that's a real terrible name. The town has this creepy waterfall with a giant hole where the water disappears and apparently nobody knows where it goes. Scientists studied it for years and basically found nothing. So already this town is 90% cursed. Then boom, cut to Megan Fox watching TV. I mean Jenifer, and some girl is staring at her through the window like she's observing a rare animal in captivity. Flashback time. The girl explains that she and Jenifer used to be best friends. Then some random girl asks if they were dating, and honestly fair question, but she says they were just friends. Yeah, okay, after one of the most aggressively 2000 scenes ever filmed. Jenifer asks the nerdy girl if she wants to go to a concert later that night, so she starts getting ready, and we meet her boyfriend who looks like he was generated by an AI trying to create awkward emo white boy. Then the girl says she can feel Jenifer is already in their house for them to go out, and she actually is. Jenifer, who isn't even possessed yet, immediately starts making insanely unhinged jokes about mating rituals and then throws the girl against the wall as a joke. They leave the minicock boyfriend at home and head to the only bar in town, and Jenifer spends the entire time saying the most outrageous horny nonsense imaginable. At this point I genuinely think she was already possessed before the movie started because nobody talks like this naturally. Then she spots the first dude who looks like he owns at least 3 Affliction shirts and immediately locks onto him like a heat-seeking missile, which honestly makes no sense because realistically this guy would have approached her before she even blinked. Jenifer goes to grab him a drink while her friend overhears the guy talking trash about Jenifer. But when Jenifer hears about it, she somehow likes him more. Then this fake emo band starts performing their fake emo music and Jenifer looks emotionally destroyed by it, like she just discovered Tumblr for the first time. This opening is peak 2000s teenage cinema. It's honestly beautiful, but thankfully the bar suddenly catches on fire because the script needed something dramatic to happen. Everyone starts panicking. People are literally running out on fire while the band immediately switches into save ourselves first mode. Then the greasy lead singer gets Jenifer drunk and leads her toward the world's least suspicious van, and because this is a horror movie she gets in. No hesitation, to be fair, this probably still happens in real life more than we'd like to admit. Meanwhile, Jenifer's best friend goes home terrified and calls her weird boyfriend. But then someone rings the doorbell. She opens it, nobody's there. Classic horror movie mistake. Then we see a shadow sneak into the house behind her because apparently demons don't understand personal boundaries. She hears noises upstairs and finds Jenifer looking like she just lost a fight at the ketchup factory. Girl is covered in blood. She asks if Jenifer's okay, and Jenifer responds by growling and vomiting black venom symbiote sludge all over the floor. Then she starts laughing like a maniac before throwing her friend against the wall asking, "Are you scared?" and then runs away. Honestly, this interaction was so awkward, it felt like an Xbox 360 creepypasta cutscene. The next day the protagonist has flashbacks about her childhood with Jenifer, until Jenifer casually shows up at school like she didn't just vomit crude oil onto someone's kitchen floor the night before. The teacher announces that 8 students died in the fire. Jenifer starts giggling. Yeah, okay, she's definitely evil now. Outside the classroom, the boyfriend approaches the protagonist and she tells him Jenifer to rub demon juice in her kitchen, and his genius response, she was probably just sick. Then the weird kid that even the weird kids avoid walks up offering condolences, and later we see the best friend of one of the dead students crying alone when Jenifer approaches him and tells him, "Your friend's dying wish was for us to hook up." And with just that, this poor dude immediately follows her into the woods to donate his organs to science. Honestly, I might have folded too. Jenifer then does what she does best, brutally murders the guy while he screams loud enough for the entire state to hear him. But a nearby teacher assumes he's just emotional about losing his friends. When the teacher finally investigates, he finds the dude dead in the most horrifying way possible, which officially kicks off murder season in this town. After that, Jenifer is casually swimming in the lake all happy after her first kill, like she just got a victory royale. Later that night, she calls the protagonist sounding being super cheerful, saying nobody should be sad because life is short and people should have fun. Then she burns her own tongue with a lighter for absolutely no reason and says, "I'm a god." Meanwhile, the boyfriend is scared because of all the murders happening, so he calls his girlfriend over. They have this painfully awkward kiss, and then we get that iconic Megan Fox scene. Then some god dude asks her out, free kill acquired. Got McLovin heads toward Jenifer's house, completely unaware that he's about to become Demon DoorDash. The neighborhood looks abandoned except for Jenifer's house, which somehow wasn't suspicious enough for him to leave. He knocks, no answer. So naturally he climbs through the window because horror movie characters have the survival instincts of raccoons, then still keeps walking around after a bat flies out of nowhere. At this point bro deserved it. Then he finds the aftermath of the ritual. Jenifer appears and says, "You made it, yeah, to hell." She transforms into full demon mode and starts absolutely destroying this poor guy, while speaking in demonic ASMR. Suddenly the protagonist gets psychic visions about Jenifer murdering people and runs off, ruining her boyfriend's night. Honestly deserved. Then Jenifer appears on the road like a horror movie NPC and smashes through the windshield. The protagonist runs home crying, which is probably the smartest decision anyone's made so far, but when she gets into bed, Jenifer is already there, and somehow she looks even hotter possessed, which honestly feels unfair. Jenifer starts kissing her non-consensually, but eventually the protagonist folds because come on, it's Megan Fox in a 2009 horror movie. The internet was never recovering from this scene. Then Jenifer finally explains what happened. The band took her into the woods for a satanic ritual because they thought sacrificing a virgin would make them famous, but Jenifer kept insisting she was a virgin even though she clearly wasn't, which means the ritual got corrupted. So instead of dying properly, she came back possessed. The lead singer literally stabs her while promising to write a song named after her musician behavior. Jenifer says she should have died but somehow crawled back home starving, so she ate the Indian guy who escaped the fire earlier. And apparently nobody even knew he survived before she turned him into demon lunch. Jenifer explains that whenever she gets hungry, her skin gets pale, her body weakens, and she starts looking less attractive. So basically her beauty routine is murder. Then she dramatically leaves through the window just to farm more points. At this point the town has had so many deaths that the funerals start feeling routine. Another dead guy? Damn, that's crazy. Anyway, the protagonist researches demonic possession and tries explaining everything to her boyfriend. But he thinks she's breaking up with him because he's bad in bed, absolute NPC behavior. She explains Jenifer is literally eating people to survive and only looks pretty after feeding. The boyfriend obviously doesn't believe her because horror movies legally require at least one idiot character. Still, she makes him promise not to go to prom. Cut to literally every girl in town getting ready for prom. Like there isn't an active succubus serial killer outside. The boyfriend's mom even gives the protagonist pepper spray, which is adorable because pepper spray is not stopping a flying demon, Megan Fox, and somehow Jenifer already looks terrible again despite murdering someone yesterday. Girl burns calories fast. Then the boyfriend ignores every warning and goes to prom alone in the dark, because apparently survival isn't on his priority list. Jenifer finds him and starts manipulating him, saying his girlfriend has been cheating on him with a dead guy from the fire, which honestly sounds insane enough to work. Then she flirts with him and the dude kisses Megan Fox. At that point, honestly, mission accomplished. Jenifer seems way more into this kill than the others too. But somehow the protagonist senses danger through the air itself and runs out of prom. Jenifer drags the boyfriend to an abandoned pool where she absolutely humiliates this man before the protagonist arrives to save him. The boyfriend uses the pepper spray. It does nothing, because Jenifer starts flying. They argue and Jenifer admits she always thought she was better than her friend and says she's going to eat her soul too. Then the boyfriend finally becomes useful for 2 seconds and stabs Jenifer with a pool skimmer thing. She escapes, but the boyfriend is already dying, and honestly the scene is surprisingly sad. Rip weird little guy. Then we cut to the protagonist crying in her room looking at old photos from when life wasn't a complete nightmare. Finally, at the end of the movie we return to the opening scene. Jenifer is in her bedroom when the protagonist climbs through the window and they start throwing hands in the most chaotic final battle imaginable. Jenifer is flying around like a demonic WWE wrestler until the protagonist rips off their friendship necklace. And that weakens her, which is both incredibly cheesy and weirdly emotional. Then she stabs Jenifer directly in the heart. Jenifer's mom walks in right as it happens and sees the whole thing, which is why the protagonist ends up in prison at the beginning of the movie. She explains she absorbed some of Jenifer's powers after being bitten, so she escapes prison to get revenge. She hitchhikes back to town with the sketchiest old man alive, and the movie ends, showing the band members living rich, successful lives after sacrificing Jenifer, until we find out the protagonist hunted them down and killed every single one of them. And that's the movie. Honestly, I kinda think the ending would have been stronger if the band got away with it. Jenifer dead needy in prison. That would make the end hit way harder as a critic to modern day cults, but instead we got this mid-hour revenge. Well, at the end of the day, it was a good movie and I had fun. If you enjoyed, please drop a like and subscribe. Peace.